Good day! I am Ma'am G and I will be discussing understanding culture, society, and politics. This is our Quarter 1, Module 3, entitled Human Biocultural and Social Evolution. After finishing this module, you should be able to, number 1, analyze the significance of cultural, social, political, and economic symbols and practices. Letter A, trace the biological and cultural evolution of early to modern humans. Letter B, explore the significance of human material remains and artifactual evidence in interpreting cultural and social, including political and economic processes. And letter C, recognize national, local, and specialized museums and archaeological and historical sites as venues to appreciate and reflect on the complexities of biocultural and social evolution as part of being and becoming human. But first, let us have an activity. Read and analyze the following statements. Then, from the given choices, choose the letter of the correct answer and write it on your journal or answer sheet. Let's begin. What is the correct order of evolutionary scheme according to Lewis Henry Morgan? Is it letter A, civilization, savagery, barbarism? Letter B, barbarism, civilization, savagery? Or letter C, savagery, barbarism, or civilization? You have 5 seconds to answer. The correct answer is letter C. Number 2. Why is it that hunting and gathering groups were known as nomads? Is it A, because they don't have permanent habituation? Letter B, because they are fond of hunting large animals? Or letter C, because they have division of labor? The correct answer is letter A. Number 3. Most of the time, nomadic societies live in the following except for what? Is it A, underground houses, B, caves, or C, rivers? The correct answer is letter C. Number 4. Leadership of hunting-gathering societies is according to the following activities except what? A, strength, B, resources, or C, age? The correct answer is letter B. Now for the last number, the following are examples of livestock animals except for what? Is it A, fish, B, sheep, or C, chicken? The correct answer is letter A. Did you get them all correctly? Great! Our first lesson is on cultural and socio-political evolution. Now look at this picture. What do you see? What are the changes that you can observe among the different stages from the first to the last person? You may write down your answers in your journal or answer sheet and give it to your advisor or subject teacher. Now our topic is the evolution of socio-cultural and political institutions in the 19th century. The first one is the hunting and gathering societies. Now the earliest societies are considered as the oldest and most basic way of survival. Men are tasked to hunt large animals, while women were in charge of gathering food. They are also commonly known as nomads. Most of the time, nomadic societies live in caves or underground houses covered by tree branches. Leadership is according to their abilities like intelligence and strength and based on sex, age, and division of labor. These groups are usually led by a priest because they believe that spirits live in this world. The second kind of socio-cultural and political society is the horticultural and pastoral societies. First, we have the horticultural societies. They are larger than the hunting and gathering societies. They also produce simple hand tools to grow crops. The surplus allows its members to trade their extra food to other societies. On the other hand, we have the pastoral societies. They raise livestock, animals. These societies were developed in dry regions where growing of crops is not possible in their land. They are also called as animal herders. In these societies, there is no equal social relation because land and animal wealth leads to dispute where some of its members are acting as privileged among others because of the surplus of resources. Next is the agricultural societies and Neolithic Revolution. Agricultural societies are the beginning of the major socio-cultural and economic development because people began to farm and domesticate animals. Cultivating wheat, barley, peas, rice, and millet became their form of subsistence. Animal domestication provided important contribution to the Neolithic people, for they began to produce cultivation tools and develop farming skills that can sustain a population with 1,000 of people. This is when plow and wheel was invented in the Middle East, and it eventually spread to other parts of the world where it became known as Neolithic Revolution. Now in the Neolithic Revolution, meat of domesticated animals like sheep, goat, cattle, and pigs became additional sources of nutrition to the Neolithic people. Skins of these animals also turned into a source of clothing, while the horns and bones of it were utilized in making utensils. Animal manure was used as a fertilizer for soil cultivation. The developed technology in farming led into the development of agriculture in the world, and it also led into social inequality because some farmers happened to be slaves while the landowners acted as elites of the society. Now we have the Industrial Revolution. It began in Europe during the late 18th century where new sources of energy were discovered. Advanced forms of technology were applied and more machineries were invented. These changes were made possible because of the factory machineries which is used for production and manufacturing. People began to leave their farmland to work in urban areas where factories are located. The birth of industrial societies began to consume most of the world's resources because these resources, especially the natural, are the life of the factories to continue their production of goods. Now we have the post-industrial societies. It is the start of information technology age where development of computers became the trend. This revolution replaced machineries as the primary source of economic development. The use of information technology applications paved the way for computers to rise for the information revolution. During this era, there is a significant increase in profession and technical works and a declined number of skilled and semi-skilled workers. Computer literacy and application of computer software became a job qualification, and education became a basis of social mobility. Communication infrastructure turned out to be the focus of development. Inventions and innovations increased in number because of technological advancement. Now we have political evolution. Political evolution explains the ideas about the origin and nature of society, the formation of the state, and the views about law, governance, and citizenship. The early civilization showed the political evolution in the society because of the developments that happened on a particular time. There are four major civilizations who became well known in the world. These are the Sumerian of West Asia, Indus Valley of India, Shang of China, and Egyptian along the Nile River. These civilizations are considered as cradle of civilization that influenced the other societies. Below are their important characteristics according to Contreras et al. Number 1, developed and highly advanced cities. Number 2, well-defined city centers. Number 3, complex and systematic institutions. Number 4, organized and centralized system of government. Number 5, formalized and complex form of religion. Number 6, job specialization. Number 7, development of social classes. Number 8, implementation of large-scale public works and infrastructures. Number 9, advanced technology. Number 10, system of writing and recording. And number 11, detailed forms of art and architecture. The said civilizations have well-organized form of government and leaders are powerful enough to govern their cities. Political leaders of the early civilization were also tasked to craft and implement laws, impose justice and punishment, collect taxes, and sometimes as religious leaders too. Shown in the table are the different political systems of the four major civilizations. It shows the social class of each civilization. For the Sumerian, they are the priests and royalty. For the Egyptians, they are the pharaoh. For the Indus Valley, they are the Brahmins. For the Shang, it is the king priest. Now they also have other social classes. For the Sumerians, these are the wealthy, the merchants, and ordinary workers. For the Egyptians, we have the government officials, soldiers, scribes, merchants, craftsmen, peasants, and slaves. For the Indus Valley, we have the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, and Parya. For the Shang, we have the working class, which includes farmers, craftsmen, and soldiers. Now let us have another activity. Read and analyze the following statements, and from the given choices, choose the letter of the correct answer and write it on your journal or answer sheet. Let's begin. Number 1. Factory machineries in the Industrial Revolution are used for what? Is it A. Production, B. Manufacturing, or C. Skill learning? You have 5 seconds to answer. The correct answer is letter C. Number 2. What is the focus of development in the post-industrial society? Is it A. Communication, B. Invention, or C. Education? The correct answer is letter A. Number 3. During the post-industrial society, what is the basis of social mobility? Is it A. Communication, B. Invention, or C. Education? The correct answer is letter C. Number 4. The following are political leaders and the highest social class during the early civilizations, except for what? Is it A. Brahmin, B. Queen, or C. Priest? The correct answer is letter B. Now the last number, number 5. Between Sumerians and Egyptians, who is their common member of social class? Is it letter A. Workers, B. Merchants, or C. Craftsmen? The correct answer is letter B. I hope everybody got the correct answers. Now let's assess if you understood our lesson from the beginning. Read and analyze the following statements, and from the given choices, choose the letter of the correct answer and write it on your journal or answer sheet. Let's begin. Number 1. What is the correct order of evolutionary scheme according to Lewis Henry Morgan? Is it A. Civilization, savagery, barbarism? Letter B. Barbarism, civilization, savagery. Letter C. Savagery, barbarism, civilization. You have 3 seconds to answer. The correct answer is letter C. Number 2. Why is it that hunting-gathering groups were known as nomads? Is it A. Because they don't have permanent habituation? Letter B. Because they are fond of hunting large animals? Or letter C. Because they have division of labor? The correct answer is letter A. Number 3. Most of the time, nomadic societies live in the following except for what? A. Underground houses, B. Caves, or C. Rivers? The correct answer is letter C. Number 4. Leadership of hunting-gathering societies is according to the following except what? Is it A. Strength, B. Resources, or C. Age? The correct answer is letter B. The last number. The following are examples of livestock animals except for what? Is it A. Fish, B. Sheep, or C. Chicken? The correct answer is letter A. Now that ends our lesson today. I hope you have understood our lesson well. Now I leave you with this quote by Nelson Mandela. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Again, I am Ma'am G. Thank you for joining me in understanding culture, society, and politics.